I think he likes
Children.
the poop of children because he's trying to fix all the poop in all over the world because he wants to collect it for himself. You don't know about Bill Gates? He has a big foundation trying to fix.
You don't know about Bill Gates?
Gorebones Podcasket here, the internet's #1 fake spooky podcast, is getting in at least one Halloween-adjacent episode before the end of October to keep the podcast union and our bitch ex-wives off our asses. I am your host, Peter O'Donohue, unbothered by holy water, and I have been invited into the home by...
Ethan Palmer, who didn't realize that his Phyrexian body horror episodes didn't count towards our spooky quota, but I think my Phyrexian episodes are going to be spookier than this one, but just saying.
Yeah. And my name's
certainly.
My name's James Miller, and what's more spooky than getting paid for 10 jobs but having to do 12, huh?
Yeah, exploitation of labor is what I'm going as this Halloween.
Yeah, I'm going to go as the poop that was washed away in the stream.
Yeah, I have a sash that just says mayor on it that one of my ex-girlfriends made for me, so I'm going to do some mayoral costume this year, I think, if I bother going to a party.
Nice.
Today's episode about vampires, specifically within the Witcher universe, kind of falls into the broad request that people had for more Witcher. But the two people who had mentioned it most recently were the patrons Chaz Michael Michaels and David last name withheld, with backup from Bushel down in the soup kitchen. And then also a warm Lore Boys welcome to the freshest face patrons Brendan Peck and Joseph Porciazzo. I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
Nice.
So,
we got for last week too, right? Because I messed up last week.
That was Brendan.
Okay, cool.
I believe Joe is in the Discord. I don't know about Brendan, but if he is, hi.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hello.
Welcome, and thank you for the support. So, obviously we've all played the Witcher games, at least a few of them. Have you guys, specifically played the DLC, the final expansion, and really the end of the game series, Blood and Wine, which is very vampire focused?
Yeah. I can't remember the beats of it, like what happens exactly, but I remember going to a mansion and talking to people who end up being vampires or something. I can't remember.
You go to a mansion in Hearts of Stone for sure.
Oh, maybe
I think there's also mansions in Blood and Wine, almost
you
assuredly. You probably
vineyard.
visit one.
Geralt retires to a vineyard, which he is gifted. But also, Toussaint, you were working for the Duchess of Toussaint because there is the beast of what I can't remember his name. I wrote that as his real name. Detlef is murdering people around Toussaint all over the place, and you work with her, and then obviously you meet Detlef and go to a lot of vampires do love opulent mansions.
Oh
no, for sure.
Is Blood and Wine like when you come out in that place with all the flowers and like the green, like you go to a whole new place?
Yeah, you go to Toussaint.
Yes, yeah, you fight. Yeah.
You go to France and The Witcher.
You fight a troll wearing a peacock as a headdress at the beginning of the first boss of the DLC is you're in a sunflower field and a troll who's all dolled up is attacking you with the grinding stone of a windmill, basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I have the faintest memories. This will all be good stuff though.
A lot more wine, a lot less blood in Jamie's life after playing that, I would think.
Yeah.
I think Hearts of Stone was a great DLC. I want to say I preferred it over Blood and Wine, but they're both phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the reason I preferred it so much is because it is a very compact, very direct. Here's the story. It's a great little story.
Yeah.
You're gonna go fight Dante Ogrim, and it's gonna be fantastic, right? Blood and Wine is like you say, Jamie. They introduce a new area. There's a bunch of side quests. It is just more of The Witcher 3, and there is a compelling main quest, but there's a ton of side quests too that go along with it. So I think it also, for me, it is held less fast in my brain because it wasn't that super condensed shot of Witcher story. It was kind of this more spread out, gradual dose.
Yeah, it's different ways. Yeah, exactly. Hearts of Stone, we're like mainlining that lore straight to the vein, and then the other one, it's more you're just kind of in a smoky room taking it in, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have the identical opinion to Ethan. The concentrated diamond of CD Projekt lore is way like more my speed because you've got the beginning, middle, and end. I can't remember the guy's first name, but like Von Everett is a great character. Gontro Dim is insanely spooky. Like who the fuck is he even? And then of course, and there's like 2 side quests, right? To build a really good sword and like and get like a good rune or something, but it is just about the story. And like I said on the bonus, but for anybody who has not joined our Patreon yet, I'm in a CD Projekt Red kind of mood this week because I'm playing Phantom Liberty, the expansion for Cyberpunk, which is exactly what I need. It is just a focused shot. I'm just slamming fucking Cyberpunk into my veins and I'm completely fucking in love with it. Yeah.
What do you guys remember? Which set of gear that you went for in the end game of Witcher 3? I remember I went for the Witcher gear of the bear, I think, because I wanted to be like the tankiest, beefiest boy.
Yeah, I did the the one that I can't remember. I think it's the wolf armor, but it's the same. It's the red coat with the high collar that Eskel wears in the base game because it's like mid armor. I did use the cat armor for a while because you would get like a wild crit boost if you get one attack from behind.
First place. I got cat and I got 2 out of the 5 pieces for the bear as well, but then just like ran out of money and like the upgrade costs are like insanely high, and I was just like, I didn't New Game Plus to like just make more money to finish the bear set. Right. And the second time I beat it, I went Griffin because I went Spellcaster.
Nice. Right. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely, and then I can't remember which swords I was using. There's a couple of like relic swords you can get that are really, really good. But I don't.
The cat armor is insane. Like you just do so much damage. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's filthy. You like have such low defense, but if you have the sustained shield sign, you're not even a fucking glass cannon anymore, right? It's just it's filthy. Yeah. I love a game that lets you just make a busted build. It's just it's a framework, but it just allows you to get that strong. Mm-hmm. There will be spoilers a little bit for one of the novels as well as Blood and Wine, but I mean, if you haven't played it in the past 7 years, I mean, maybe now's the time, and then you can go back to this. But whatever.
Worth it, yeah, I think.
I think it's absolutely worth. You definitely get like the Game of the Year edition of The Witcher for $10 fucking at this point.
It was 75% off last week, I think, which came out to like 15 Canadian dollars. I almost rebought The Witcher on PC because I don't own it on PC yet.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh okay.
No, I've only ever played on PlayStation.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, like a lot of the familiar folklore and fantasy races that the Witcher author and cantankerous grump Andrei Sapkowski pulled from, vampires in the world of The Witcher function differently than vampires that probably pop into your head the second you hear the word, right? They do not need blood to live. It does make them much, much stronger, and it does kind of get them faded, kind of like drugs and alcohol. So it's much more of like the hedonism and the excess associated with vampires. They're just getting fucked up on blood. It's like we don't need booze to live. I mean, I do, but but a lot of it is just like, it's like when vampires want to party is when they head down to the peasants and kidnap some of their maidens or whatever.
There's a vampire who lives near me. There's this guy. He's really, really tall. He's gaunt. He has just one big long black trench coat. I only ever see him early in the morning buying coffee. I don't see him out at midday. And I honestly think there's a real vampire.
Have you ever seen his reflection?
Oh, next time I see him, I'm gonna try and catch him in the mirror.
Dig a moat around his place. See if you can cross it.
Wait, if you dig a moat, they can't cross moats?
They can't go cross running water.
Oh, okay. This is good to know.
Or some garlic at his head.
Stake through his
garlic in his eyes. Just walking with two cupped handfuls of minced garlic, like fake strip, like jamming in his face. Oh, that burns so fucking much. You're a fucking vampire. I knew it.
The follow up by hammer and steak on the belt, just in case.
Yeah, you can dress up as one of those sexy like roller skate waitresses and just have like a tray of garlic and holy water, and then like, oh no!
I would just like some roller skates. That sounds fun. Yeah.
They're pretty cheap secondhand as well. You can get a copy of The Witcher.
You want to go with
and
me?
Some roller skates.
You want to hold hands?
$40.
My mom legit goes to the roller rink.
Roller rink?
Like,
Hell yeah, nice.
Once every 2 weeks, maybe with her friend. So
I'd love
to.
You
got somebody to go with.
Disco.
Your mom knows how to party. That's awesome. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So vampires don't need blood to live. They get fucked up on it. They're actually in this universe unbothered by garlic and holy water, just like the Pope, and can survive in direct sunlight. Unlike the Pope. They can be poisoned with alchemical substances, however. There is a specifically anti-vampire potion in the Witcher games called Black Blood, which will significantly weaken or even kill a vampire if it bites you after you consume the potion. Of course, alchemical potions will kill a regular person in The Witcher because they're wildly toxic, but yeah.
Black Blood's just old blood. That's like if you casted moldy food on me, right? Like, it's like
if I ate moldy food and then you bit me, you would get twice as sick.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But Witcher vampires still maintain some of the tropes. They do not cast reflections, and they do not have shadows. The running water thing, I believe, also doesn't affect them. And I was watching some clips from Blood and Wine because I haven't played it in a couple of years. I don't think. I think the attention to detail in the expansion is good enough. I don't think the character models for any of the vampire characters cast shadows. And I don't know if there's any functional mirrors in game. Like the mirror in Cyberpunk is a cutscene for. It's not like a real mirror, right? It turns on.
Which is like a great way to build a mirror, right? For sure, the future is going to have mirrors that you have to fucking turn on.
Mirror. Of course. Yeah.
CD Projekt Red's worried about the performance of their new DLC. None of the characters have shadows. Textures either. Yeah, no, we don't want any of that. Vampires don't have details. They don't have anything. Yeah,
it's just a bunch of pink and black squares. It's like that's what vampires look like in the lore. Actually,
yeah, exactly.
It's just a broken texture. Vampires will still often sleep in tombs or in coffins. This is where they can regenerate basically any wound given enough time. And sometimes they just sleep until a specific date. I sent a pretty funny clip to you guys. I don't know if you watched before the show, where Geralt and another vampire are find a vampire sleeping under a castle in Novigrad. And when they wake him up, he just asks if it's 1358 yet. And then he's just and they're like, well, no, it's not 1358. He's like, okay, well, fuck off. He doesn't want to kill anybody. He's just waiting for a specific year, basically. Yeah. Sorry?
I didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
I sent you 18 seconds of homework and you didn't do it. God damn it.
No. I was at the park talking to pretty ladies. And
I assumed it was hentai because you were sending it, Pete. So I was like, I don't want to watch
this. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know I kind of poo-poo the anime stuff sometimes on Discord, but I am constantly sending hentai clips to the boys in our
always. A lot of Bible Black and other ones.
Some other hentai we probably have heard of. LA Blue Girl, I think, is one. We had that DVD when I was at the the Amazon reseller, basically for DVDs and video games and whatnot. We had sometimes you'd get a shipment in that fell off a Target truck, basically, and we found LA Blue Girl, which was we just had a hentai section, but it was
they sell hentai at Target.
No. It's not a legit business thing, a lot of secondhand surplus crap. And
without knowing anything about LA Blue Girl, what about LA Blue Man Group? Okay,
is it a hentai?
The Blue Man Group hentai?
Yeah, we could make it. I think. Yeah,
we're gonna make $1 million, guys.
Yeah. All right. I'm officially changing my rule. I am now doing commissions, but only for Blue Man Group.
Blue Man Group.
$500 a picture, dude.
Yeah.
So since vampires
fit so many marshmallows in their mouth,
No. Yeah. You know when they hit all the drums and like the blue shit's coming
Flashing
out?
up,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you can imagine what else could splash. But anyway,
You think they come blue?
Oh, well, they definitely don't leave blue. I don't know what that means.
It's like the blue balls group. It's constantly edging. Yeah, so since vampires are a fantasy race, they're actually born this way on whatever spooky goth planet they come from. Vampire bites do not change a victim into a vampire.
Are they, okay, can I jump in real quick? You might talk about this in a little bit, but are the different vampire types, because in The Witcher 3, like monsters are broken down into types, which you know because you have oils which work better against certain ones. And there's a vampire oil which works better against vampires. Also also works really good against Ekimaras, for example. When you say like they're born vampires, is this all one species and Ekimara is the same as a vampire? Okay.
Yeah, we are going to get into it. But yeah, just some of the just to clear the air, this is the forget everything you thought about vampires section of the episode, right?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so they don't actually turn people into vampires. If they rip your throat out and consume your blood, you just die. And it's the same as like if a wolf did it.
Well, I wouldn't. I'm really tough.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
If you have a cool...
I'm pretty cool.
If you have a stronger neck like Ethan here, then you could survive.
It chips a tooth on that neck. You know, you can get in.
Yeah, small face. I'm really tough. Okay, yeah. Gotta get a snack somewhere else. So. Hey, look, I know I'm a snack, but not that kind. All right.
Yeah. Ethan getting in
smeared all over his neck.
Yeah. Ethan's so tough. He gets into a bar fight. The guy's just unloading on his neck. Ethan taking all of them, and it just returns with a single punch.
So some vampires will just like keep a blood boy around, which is someone they'll just like snack on and never kill. They may even do
so
this
like a rich person in real life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just keep a blood boy around,
like Peter Thiel or that other weird dude who's like drinking his son's blood.
A celebrity, any old celebrity, they all do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
What happens if you drink the blue guy's blood, the colloidal silver guy's blood? Do you turn blue?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Blue Man Group again.
Well, yeah. Now I'm thinking all type of blue folk.
You think he's the colloidal silver guy is an honorary member of the Blue Man Group? You think they just let him in?
Do you think he's a patriarch of the group though? Like
he should be, because he's the, like they put their blue paint on. He doesn't.
He's a method blue man.
Method for Wu-Tang Clan is a blue man?
I was just thinking like Christian Bale. You know, you've got him like jacked for Batman, thin for the boxing one, and like fat for Vice. Then you just got him like drinking silver for the Blue Man Group one, where he's just like so fucking sick with that white beard. But yeah, so vampires do come in multiple different forms as well. So if vampirism isn't a curse or a disease, where do we get our sexy centuries-old people from?
They're born that way. You just said
same place we got everybody else. It was from the conjunction of the spheres. Everybody other than gnomes and dwarves, right?
Yeah.
So we have an episode about the conjunction of the spheres from several years ago, which
I remember your metaphor. Yeah, I remember your metaphor. It was something about a spaghetti strainer going through a universe, and it brought in a bunch of different creatures. What really happened is there's like two universes, two Milky Ways floating through the space, but towards each other, and then they just like mash through each other, and you just.
I think it's also like it's two metaphorical Milky Ways, right? Like I think it's more like planar travel, where it's like the realms kind of overlap than actually like stars and worlds. But that's a good way.
It's very and the people aren't actually spaghetti. It's a metaphor.
No, some of them are.
Yeah,
vampires are.
Okay, vampires are spaghetti. Yeah. So just a quick recap here, because if you're like driving heavy machinery right now or something and can't listen to a whole other episode about stuff before getting into this one, the planet the Witcher stories are set on was once only populated by gnomes and dwarves until the conjunction of the spheres, where multiple universes kind of just like passed through each other, and some of the native races from those other universes all kind of got stranded on the continent, which is just the name of the landmass that like all of the Witcher stories take place on. So every fantasy race other than gnomes and dwarves, including humans, obviously vampires, trolls, everything, they're just from other worlds, and they just ended up trapped here after this like magical cataclysm. What the name of the vampire realm is called is unknown. Like, despite the fact there are vampires still alive in the game, which we'll talk about, who were on whatever vampire Earth,
Sure.
and then ended up like being
Vamp
trapped. Vamp Earth, yeah. It's like a landlord association that just like passes through. They all get trapped on the continent. Like one of the vampires we'll talk about later on was on the vampire homeworld and then remembers becoming trapped on the continent. Like he's been here for thousands and thousands of years, and he's in Blood and Wine. But like I said, we'll talk about him.
And there was several conjunctions of the spheres. So there's several times where like the lines blurred a little bit, and it's like, oh, now humans ended up on the continent, and now elves ended up on the continent, and
like humans ended up somewhere else and arrived on the continent by like in different migratory batches or whatever. Different blue men group all showed up at different times, right? With different blue man cultures.
You know what I called it when I got pink eye in both eyes? Conjunctivitis of the spheres.
Okay. I called it you're fucking gross, Jamie.
Yeah. I call it you don't wash your hands enough.
I got it from somebody else. It was it was butt to eye, you know. It was just direct, yeah.
Of course, yeah. The Blue Man Group concert, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, they get wild.
Yeah. So to answer your question from a few minutes ago, Ethan, vampire is just a generic term for similar monsters from the same realm, from the same sphere, who all feed on blood in some way or another. It's like, you know, the way we use bug or Kleenex for bugs and Kleenex. It's vampire is just... It's they have like commonalities basically.
Wait, is bug the brand name for bugs? Yeah,
well, like bug is not a scientific term. Like spiders, ants, they're all bugs.
Bug is the name that Nestle gave bugs to try and sell them to us, right?
When they started bottling bugs, the bugs outside are free.
Nestle doesn't want you to know that. Nestle exactly. Bugs are a human right.
The CEO of Nestle doesn't think eating bugs is a right. So yeah, like I was saying here, so there is actually a closed gate of some kind in Toussaint, which is it's in an optional area in the Blood and Wine expansion in The Witcher 3. The cave is guarded by the Unseen Elder, and this is a vampire who's multiple thousands of years old. And depending on whether or not another character that we talked about earlier named Gaunter O'Dim is still around, the Unseen Elder may be the most powerful thing on the continent. Like, entirely unkillable. Like, the most powerful vampire around. I put in some reference images in there. There's one, they may be out of order, because I forgot to do it in a timely fashion. But there's a great picture of him that looks like a very generic medieval painting, where he's standing in the weird 2D pose. And then actual art of the Unseen Elder later on. I don't know, it's the fourth one, I guess. There's two big ones at the top and then at the bottom there if you guys want to check that out. It will be in the episode picks for the patrons as well later this week. Excuse me. So dying of old age, obviously, is not an issue for higher vampires. So now we're going to get into kind of the tiers here. So he simply sits and waits for the gate to reopen someday so he can return home, or like he thinks he can. This meeting the Unseen Elder, sadly, is a mutually exclusive quest in Blood and Wine. I never met him. My path took me in a different way to finish the expansion, so I never got to meet him. But I watched the cutscene with him there, and you can ask him about like why he's there, and he shows you like chunk of the vampire homeworld that's in that cave, and he just tells Geralt like, yeah, maybe in 100 years, maybe 200, maybe 300, but we will reopen this gate. Like, his intention is to get back to his goth planet. Mm-hmm. The way you convince him to help you is just because he's a crabby old man, because obviously he's several thousand years old, and Geralt is just like, look, if you don't help us stop Detlef from doing these murders, these dirt farming peasants will find you, and they're not going to be able to kill you, but it's going to be real fucking annoying to have to kill a knight every couple of weeks. And he's just like, oh, fuck, that's true. So that's why he yells, because he just wants to return to hanging from the ceiling like a stalactite for the rest of time, basically. He just doesn't want to be bothered.
Now that's a motivation I can get behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
finally a character motivation that speaks to me.
Yeah,
man who famously hangs from ceiling.
Dude, just get me back to bed. Honestly, relatable.
Yeah. All I need to do is make one telepathic phone call, and then I will be left alone for the rest of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can come join me in this. We got an 8-hour training to do. It's optional. You don't have to do it, but if you don't do it, you're gonna get a 1-hour meeting every morning at 9 a.m. that you're gonna have to go. It's like, I'll do the fucking 8-hour training.
Absolutely, yeah.
That takes me back to VFX. It's like, most of that job is meetings, like theorizing about work, like we're fucking professional philosophers. And then the second half of the day was trying to implement something before the next time you had to sit around and talk about working, basically. Middle management, baby. It's an art form, I think.
Yeah,
it's lost on.
I forgot to submit my hours, so I get paid, and I just got pinged by someone, so I just submitted all my hours right now for work to make sure that I get paid.
119 on a Sunday.
Yeah. She's approving all the hours, and she's mad at me for not putting them in yet. There we go. All right, we're getting our paycheck. We're good.
Yeah. So Ethan, you had mentioned some specific vampire names, like an Ekimara. There's also Catacans. Lower vampires, these are qualified as lower vampires. They're typically bat-like monsters that can be as big as a human. Some of the, like, Gwent, the free card game art, has, like, lower vampires on them that are much more like kind of like a bat gargoyle, like a rat thing. It's just, or like, kind of like a monkey-sized, I don't know how to, whatever, like a monkey-sized vampire monster, right? You fight a lot of these in-game. They can't speak. They can't shapeshift. They can all turn invisible, but they're not like the rich guy vampires, the higher vampires that you end up interacting with. Higher vampires can take human form and then switch into a more monstrous form, turn into mist, clouds of bats, or even just transform into rivers of blood. And if they get really desperate, like Detlef has a third form of like the pure vampire form where he's much, much larger. Kind of looks like the alien from Alien, but with bat wings on him. And he transforms into something like that. There's some reference images there for some lower vampires. They're the hunchbacked kind of like a werewolf body, but with a big, very gross bat head. For some reason, when I think about them, like bats are quite cute, but like if you look at them real close, they're fucked up looking. Like they're awful little beady eyes and like flat, gross noses. They're very
depends on the bat. Depends on what they're doing at the time.
If they're eating a little fruit, that's so cute.
They look cute. If they're a fruit bat eating a fruit, then they're very cute. Wrapped in a little towel, that's very cute.
Yeah.
It depends on the position of the camera. If the camera is upside down and it looks like they're doing disco, and somebody's put like the Bee Gees over top, them just like walking around on the ceiling, then it looks very good.
Yeah.
So you were saying like little monkey like vampires or whatever and stuff, and I started thinking, what would be the scariest animal in the Animal Planet that is now the race of vampires? I was just looking around my house. I was like, my own house cat, that'd be scary because a cat could sneak up on you and get you pretty good. Just one bite if that's all they needed.
Jamie's scared of cat girls. That's what he's saying.
Cat girls, yeah, that would be scary. Squirrels would be annoying. Anything with like a lot, like rodents or something, would be really bad.
Yeah, I would think like bugs, like a praying mantis, because they're like so alien.
Really, they're kind of already in
like
vampire
spider,
pose too. Yeah.
Oh man. And yeah, they're so small, they can just get into things. Like, imagine you have to shake out your shoes for vampires. Like,
it's like,
exactly. My native guide in the Amazon is like, watch for vampires. You're like, all right, get spider boots in the tent to keep vampires out of it.
Current vampires can turn into a cloud of bats. And so, like, these vampires could just turn to a cloud of spiders, which would be objectively awful. Right?
Oh, horrible.
Sorry, David.
It's like when you pop that like, like the things where all the eggs are, and you like touch it, and then all the baby spiders just like come out, kind of thing. That would be awful.
Yeah, anything gross. I guess if like the higher vampire form of whatever animal it turned into. But imagine if it was like the higher vampire of like the little kind of lemur ones where he just like explodes into a cloud of lemurs and you're like, oh no!
I was searching for a vampire.
I like to move it. I like to move it. Just like rising out of the coffin with like his arms crossed and that music just blasting.
Yeah. I've been searching for a vampire pun with Zaboomafoo and I couldn't get there, but
The Boomafu. I don't know.
That's better than I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep vamping on that subject. I need to write down Vampire King Julian.
I was writing it down too.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad I got a stenographer for this one.
Yeah.
So the higher and lower classifications seem to divide.
Leaping along.
1 leap, 2 leap, 3 leap.
Oh yeah, the count from Sesame Street, because he's a puppet. Would he like dissolve into like a cloud of human hands? Like, because that's what controls him.
Are you saying that vampires all have a bat up their ass, and that's the bat that they turn into?
They're piloted by a smaller bat. Yeah,
it's a smaller bat driving a mecha vampire, which is why we're talking about vampires, because Pete loves.
So that alien in Men in Black 2. That like when they open it up and it dies.
Oh, the Orion's belt thing?
Technically a vampire.
Yes, exactly. Okay. the guy who tells him about the cat's collar is a vampire.
With either a really large person or a really small bat. Yeah, we're not sure which, but
I think the hummingbird bat or the bumblebee bat, one of those things, is like the smallest mammal on Earth. They're super tiny, very cute.
Really?
Like
a bumblebee vampire would be very cute, I'll say. Just like
not if it's exploded to a cloud of bees.
They're bumblebees, right? They're so like dopey, and like he just has like really bad like coordination, and he's always like turning sideways when he's trying to just like walk in a straight line, like
dances to communicate and control his familiars.
Yeah,
that's what I was picturing. Yeah. You go and like talk to the bumblebee vampire, and he just busts a move, man. That'd be so sick.
Yeah. Or his like shadow is always dancing on the wall projected behind him, right? Like that's what communicates. So the higher low.
My bees the other day. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, wait,
we could have talked about it on the bonus.
Yeah, I'd like to know when you're attacked by bees. Yeah,
at Bobby's, right?
No, at my place. I was at my mom's.
All right. So the higher and lower classifications.
Wait, what? We're not going to dwell on this. What happened?
I was trying to. So we were winterizing them, or getting them ready for the winter. So we're putting like syrup in the cup.
Little gloves.
Yeah, little gloves. You spray like lacquer around them, and
they all just they're just shiny. It's just like way overgrown back there. So I was just like mowing a path near them, not to them, not straight up to the hive. But I found out what the boundary is there. Like the too close. Got stung like 8 times.
What was it?
It was like 10 feet away, probably. They were like,
that's pretty close. Yeah,
chill, buddy.
Close. It depends on the hive, though, right? Like Bobby's, like some hives you can go right up to, and then the other ones.
Yeah, my hive's pretty gentle, but it's like, because I had the same thought. I was like, I know Bobby mows around his hives, and so I was like, so I'll just go do it. I'll just like rock up to them, whatever. I'd like just finished work, basically, right over there. Started mowing near them, and then got stung on that right on the head, right? got stung through my jeans on the leg a couple times in the back, and I was talking to him later when he showed up. I was like, yeah. I figured I could mow near them. You mow near them. He's like, yeah, I wear my suit whenever I mow near the hive. So that makes sense.
Whitney does the mowing now too, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
She was saying, yeah. But they got a new mower, so they're probably faster than the speed of bee.
Yeah, so the higher and lower classifications of vampires seems to distinguish those that can take a human form and those that cannot. Like Ekimara is just a monster. The bees one can probably take human form, right? Just a bunch of bees wearing fancy clothes.
Yeah,
but the higher vampire, yeah, exactly. Just like this constant buzzing. It's like, oh no, it's my cell phone's going off. Sorry.
That feels like a Doom Patrol superhero, right? Just like a bunch of bees in a trench coat.
It does.
It would definitely have a bee beard too. You have to.
No, it would be it would be like a woman, and it would be called like Honeypot or something, and it catfishes men that way.
Honeypot is very good. I just wrote down bees in a trench coat, man, because that's what I would have named the superhero.
Well, I'm glad we have a team of writers on the show that can rework that.
The honeypot thing. Imagine going on a Tinder date. Not only you've been catfished, but it's just a swarm of bees.
Yeah, like take her back to the hotel, open the trench coat. Hey, I was expecting catfish in here, and then you get stung to death by bees.
Well, that'd be like such a weird crime scene to walk in on for a detective 2 days from retirement.
just a man stung to death on the floor, just a trench coat lying there, and just like pictures of catfish all in the guy's like suit jacket pocket.
Yeah.
You've got like, instead of picking up like the shell casing with the tip of a pen, he's like picks up a bee stinger. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, not another one of these.
Go near the body. He wakes up. Is it 1438 yet?
No,
Yeah,
then
so-
fuck off.
There's also different power levels within higher vampires, like Detlef and Regis, and we're going to get into these characters here, or the Unseen Elder are immensely powerful. And we do fight, they're called Bruxas in game. They're the sexy lady vampires. They regular human woman form. The honeypots, exactly. And you also fight catechans. This might be a sex thing, like as in male and female, because Bruxas all appear to be women, and the catecan we meet named Hubert Rake is a man. They all have similar powers and they can all transform, but like the Bruxas don't have as monstrous a form. Like it is like just kind of a nude woman. I did add one of the pictures to your hentai collection for the episode here.
Nice.
It's just like a topless lady with like sharp teeth, and her ribs get more kind of jagged and angled when she takes vampire form, and all the vampires in The Witcher as well get very, very long fingernails.
Oh my god, she has like the
claws.
cat thumb too. She has like an extra thumb on her wrist.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. This is like when she shapeshifts there. And then Hubert Rake turns into a catecan, which is one of the much more large kind of bat-like monsters when he transforms. They're all telepathic, and they all can shapeshift as well. So I think it might just be a gendered thing between like chicks are Bruxas, boys are cats, boys are cats, girls are cats, boys are dogs, sort of thing.
Dogs are cats, girls are boys.
Exactly. Oriana, who you meet in Toussaint, she's part of the Blood and Wine expansion. She is a particularly powerful Bruxa compared to the ones that you fight just as enemy mobs. She may just be centuries older, or has just consumed more blood, or maybe she's just like the most powerful Bruxa in the same way the Unseen Elder is the most powerful vampire there. I love this one, having not known anything about Idiotic Conspiracies playing this, but then now that I do know a bunch about Idiotic Conspiracies, the fact that Oriana basically has the QAnon adrenochrome farm in Toussaint because she runs an orphanage because she just loves children's blood. It's good. It's what makes her more powerful. And I was thinking, it's just like, it's so funny that like the vampire obviously is being kept young and powerful by children's blood, but like if you look at Washington, D.C., the children's blood they're drinking is clearly not fucking working.
Yeah, it's not working.
I don't know if it's tainted, or maybe they just got the proportions wrong when they were mixing it in, but like I don't know if kids' blood is the answer there, guys. If you're listening, Mr. President, maybe vitamins, like multivitamins and like staying hydrated might be the real
might be better than
Is there like a character in the game named like Adrian Chrome or something like that? Like,
that sounds more like a cyberpunk character.
Sure, yeah.
But
now to meet the king of Toussaint, we'll be meeting him in his basement. His last name, of course, Burger. He's the King Burger. We will be going to his basement in order to facilitate this meeting.
If you confront Oriana about drinking children's blood in game, so she does not kill them. But if you confront her about it, this is again mutually exclusive. I never got to do this, so I had to watch the conversation, like that part of the quest line. She mentions you didn't mute yourself, Jamie.
I double clicked and I coughed right in the mic. Oh frick.
He's still coughing.
Yeah.
Popping off.
Oh, that's great.
Just a hack one right in there. Sorry,
we're real
guys.
pros here.
So clear.
I'm cooking sausages. I'm hacking up a lung, man.
Too much sausages on the stove right now.
I love how it's like, oh yeah, it's nice and early on a Sunday. Get this out of the way while we're all fresh. It's like so fucking sloppy. Like we're holding it together better at 7:00 after work. Yeah, so she never, when you confront her about it, because you can catch her like drinking blood out of an orphan. And she's just like, I never said I opened this orphanage out of the kindness of my own heart. Like you just assume I run an orphanage because I'm a good woman. Like, just thirsty. But she does take care of them. So when you confront her and the kid is still there, he will stop you from trying to kill her. He's like, look, I was a street rat eating trash. And now, like, what? I give this vampire lady a little bit of blood. Now I have nice clothes, food, and a place to sleep. Which, not the worst deal, I suppose.
Dude,
right?
That's an okay deal. Like,
you take what you can get as an orphan, right?
Yeah.
Look at Oliver Twist.
Honestly, if my landlord said like
Sykes was drinking his blood.
Yeah, my landlord said like, okay, you don't have to pay rent anymore, but once per month, I got to come make eye contact with you and suck some of that blood out. Then
I'd
eye
like contact. Where
well,
is this just a Jamie?
Probably
Why are you gonna make eye contact drinking blood out of someone's fucking neck, Jamie?
Well, you could
a mirror
blood from lots of
2 mirrors.
Oh no, mirrors on Norg.
Oh shit!
Oh no,
that's how they figured it out.
Yeah. Vampires are just so desperate for eye contact.
Although if you came from like the back of the neck, you know what I mean, you can just like look. If I'm looking down at my shoulder and you're coming from my back over my shoulder,
that's kind of romantic too. He can give you a little hug from the back.
Yeah, a little spoon.
The Titanic pose, the King of the World thing with
okay, you can suck my blood, but I get to be little spoon.
I'm dying, Jack.
But
in this, there's a CG trailer for The Witcher 3 called A Night to Remember, and this actually shows a fight between Geralt and Oriana, and this is where he uses silver dust and also a black blood potion to get the upper hand. It like starts to rot her from the inside.
So the Blue Man Group with the silver dust, he's here, man. Yeah, he's got. Yeah, he takes the colloidal silver just to make sure
it splashes in her face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like most of the spheres that were conjuncted with the continent, little is known about the vampire world. Only vampires from 3 tribes ended up stranded on the continent, and every vampire Geralt and everybody interacts with in the books and the games or the show. I haven't kept up with the show. There may be vampires in that now too.
He fights in Brooks, I think in season 1. I think that's like the big the big monster.
The Beast one. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, they're all from the Garasham tribe. Every vampire from the, I don't know how to pronounce this, TDET, Det tribe, whatever.
Tedet.
That's the rhythm they play on the Blue Man drum. They ventured east and are never encountered by any of our characters. And every vampire from the Amarun tribe cross the sea to the west. And I do have the tribal logos up here. I didn't write down the names because I forgot to do this yesterday, but I know the hand with the drop of blood in the palm is the symbol for the Garasham tribe, and then Det and Amarun are the other 2, the serpent and the knife.
What would you say, Maroon tribe?
The Maroon 5.
Yeah, the Maroon 5. Yeah, Adam DeLevine.
He's like in his 50s and still looks great. He's probably a vampire.
God, that was a good pun, guys. DeLevine of the wine.
Of the wine.
It was there. All right, okay, thank you.
DeLevine. Vampire Society has a couple of important rules that all of them must follow. Vampires are not obligated to save one another, but are encouraged to, and if they find each other wounded and nurse the other one back to health, they do become blood brothers, and like the rescuee is now indebted forever to the rescuer. So yeah, we're gonna get more into vampire culture and maybe some blood brothers after the break. Welcome back from the break, everybody. So, the Unseen Elder in Toussaint is kind of the closest thing the vampires have to a leader on the continent, at least as far as the Garasham tribe goes. He never mentions being the leader of the vampires. It's just he is, like, far and away the oldest and most concerningly powerful one. Like, the cutscene with him is Witchers are superhuman, right? He moves so fast that the way it's cut together, he just appears places, and Geralt doesn't even really recognize that he's moved until he starts speaking. Like, it's very well shot. Like, this whole cutscene,
He set up so clearly way too powerful for Geralt. It's like one of those things where you're like, oh, we're going to have this fight with this guy, and it's just like, oh, no. It's very anime, right? Where he's just like, I was 10 moves ahead of you the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does sound a lot like that, actually. He's got the very raspy vampire voice.
Cool.
And he's the de facto leader because all the other vampires call him Daddy.
Also that, yeah.
True.
Throughout the whole game.
Regis, he's like, we need to go see Daddy. Daddy. He hands Geralt a bucket of blue paint. He's like, put this on for your own safety. During the conversation with the Unseen Elder, it's revealed that if he summons vampires using they're like the telepathic connection they all kind of have with each other, they are completely obligated to obey him. He also warns Regis that if Detlef is killed by Regis, that Regis will be like shunned and kicked out of vampire society. They are forbidden from killing each other. They're not allowed. They do live in a very like structured society where you should help each other, because what they do, I guess they do have sex, because like Regis will get into is born on the continent. Yeah, they fuck just like the Blue Man Group, just like
I'm gonna touch the bat inside you, babe.
Ew.
Bats would be like so bad at navigating the human body from the inside too, because they like rely on echolocation and everything's so tight in there.
It's so tightly packed. Yeah.
True.
I guess you can still feel your way around, but isn't if you stretch out our small intestine, it's as long as like 8 football fields or something?
No, it's like 30 feet.
Yeah, I don't think
no way.
It's something crazy. When I heard on another podcast,
30 feet's a lot. Like I'm 5'7".
You're thinking of like if you take all your DNA and stand it like, and then it's something insane like that.
Someone told
skin cells or something.
It's not real, but I heard on another podcast that you could wrap your small intestine around the world 3 times. So I was going way lower than that.
Yeah, that's very stupid.
Well, a guy made up in my head said you could stretch it to the sun and back, so you're good, James.
Yeah, no, I think what I said is right. I think it is like football
60,000 kilometers.
I looked it up.
Inside your body.
It is 22 feet. So
okay, it's shorter than a bus. Yeah,
stretched out even.
Yeah. Stretch out or not stretch. How far do you think you could? How stretchy do you think intestines are? Do you think like if it's at 22 feet at
maybe.
Rest? Do you think you could stretch it to how many football feet is? How many feet is?
Feet.
8 football fields? It's
like
100 yards per
feet,
right? So 300 feet per. So it's like 24,000. You think you could stretch it from 22 to 24,000?
No,
or 2,400. 2,400.
2,400. Yeah, 8, 16, 2,400. Yeah.
I'm gonna need a small intestine to see first. I don't want to take mine out, but well yeah.
Yeah, we'll circle back to this. Yeah. We'll have this conversation on another episode.
We'll wait for the prime. We'll ask them to send their small intestines.
And I know we've talked around. I can't recall if I mentioned like Detlef is the primary antagonist of Blood and Wine. Anyway, and getting kicked out of Vampire Society, I don't know if that makes you like okay for other vampires to kill, if other higher vampires would go and like hunt Regis to like kick him out, or whether or not he just like has to live off rat blood for the rest of his life instead of like orphans or humans or something like that. Like whatever it is, he would be kicked out of society if he kills Detlef, which spoilers for Blood and Wine does. He has to.
Yeah. I'm just picturing like Oriana with like a freshly cracked open orphan, looking up with like a chin covered in blood, like you're giving vampires a bad name.
I was picturing fucking Regis with the rats, just like a Capri Sun, you know, like there's only one sip in there.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of a bunch of like chubby rats in like a plastic 6-pack ring, like under their shoulders.
There's some like Disney rats,
yeah. Yeah, like all little fat rats.
Little beer tabs taped to their head, so you can just
just it's like older style. It would. I wonder if it would be like the the old style beer cans where the whole thing like pops off instead of like it's squished down in the beer can.
Pass the can opener. I'd like a sit. I don't know. I never had the old ones.
No, I've only seen them on TV. I think they're from like this fucking 60s. I think they're older than our parents.
Dang.
Where was I here? Right. So yeah, like I said, the being forbidden from killing each other doesn't seem to be because they're like the last ones, kind of like the Varl and the Banner saga, right? They can't breed. Because Regis himself was born in 839 of the Witcher calendar, and he only met Geralt in 1267. And just a quick recap, I'm sure it's in the Conjunction of the Spheres episode. The Witcher calendar has BR as an indicator for before the resurrection. The resurrection is only mentioned in Seasons of Storms, which is the 6th novel. It's some major event that occurred that was like serious enough to reset the calendar. So the conjunctions of the spheres happens like 2,300 years ago or something like that. And then
they say the resurrection of who?
No, it's just called the resurrection.
Jesus.
There may be more. It could be Jesus. There may be more information in Season of Storms. I haven't read any of the books, and again, this is about vampires and not the Witcher calendar. But it is like a very serious thing that happens post conjunction that resets the calendar. So Regis is born. It starts in the year 1, 838 years following that. So he has regular parents. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah. So anyway, so since I mentioned him multiple times, and he's one of my favorite characters from a video game ever. I'd like to cap the episode off with a little bit about the life of, by God, Emil Regis Rohelic Tezzarif Godfrey, which is his full God-given name.
Every 100 years, he gets a new name.
He gets a new name, exactly.
He lived in New York. He had a morning TV show with a lady named Kelly.
Yeah. But she wasn't a vampire, so when Regis turned, 700...
Yes. Yeah. Kelly, you gotta try the blood. It's great.
Who's doing your blood?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Such a. Who has the freshest blood? Rats, orphans, rich people, or prostitutes? It's like, well, Regis, I'd like to go 50-50 on this one. Yeah, phone a friend. Call the unseen elder. He's just like, I told you never to call me here.
Oh, sorry. I meant to dial Bill Gates, of course.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The second most powerful vampire.
Yeah. Well, you would know who has the freshest blood if it's children or rats.
Yeah. What do you think he prefers?
I think he likes the poop of children because he's trying to fix all the poop in all over the world because he wants to collect it for himself.
What?
You don't know about Bill Gates? He has a big foundation trying to fix.
You don't know about Bill Gates?
Him and his wife. He's got that foundation.
His ex-wife. They're divorced.
They
know what he meant. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Yeah.
They're trying to stop diarrhea, which is like one of the biggest causes of death all over the world.
They're trying to cure malaria, I think. I haven't heard the diarrhea thing.
There's a whole documentary on Netflix where it makes a billionaire look like a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Friend of Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates.
Yep.
Yeah.
Photographed on several occasions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Had a weird affair with a Russian backgammon player or something that he was obsessed with for a while, and she was 19 allegedly at the time.
How good at backgammon though? Damn.
Good enough to good enough that Bill Gates wanted some of her blood.
Hey, I was the sex. Oh, buddy, she got backgammon hands. I don't know what that means.
I don't know how to play backgammon, so I was trying to think of
backgammon is
what the rules are.
You roll, and then depending on what you roll, you can move your tiles or you move your little backgammon pieces.
Is that
haven't you heard of Bill Gates, man? Come on.
The case that opens up and has the little triangles with
exactly. Yeah, that's backgammon.
Okay, yeah. I played that.
You got to move all your pieces to the other side, and you roll dice to determine how far you can.
I see. And you can pick different combinations of moves based on the 2 dice, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. There's also strategy. It's not just rolling. But you have to choose.
Watch it, JB. Bill Gates he's going to find out where you are, and he's going to start sending you flowers if you don't stop.
Dude,
hey, Jimmy, you want to never have diarrhea again?
I just got a new toilet, Mr. Gates. Don't worry. Everything's okay over here.
Broke my last one.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing. Why don't I come over? You can tell me about backgammon some more.
Oh my god. So everything in Regis's early life here is going to be from the books, which again, so more minor spoilers. I'm going to try and avoid a lot of it because again, you should just, if you're interested, just fucking read it, right? But I'm going to put in some stuff here from the books here, kind of how he met Geralt and whatnot, and especially because the games are basically fan fiction from after the books, right? Because of course, canonically at the end of the book series, both Geralt and Yennefer are killed in a race riot.
Yeah.
And then in the first game, they're just actually they were just hurt real bad. So
was it Geralt and Yennefer or just Geralt? I thought Geralt died saving Yennefer was how it ended, but I could be wrong.
Both killed in the same pogrom. Because Geralt is still stabbed in the chest with a pitchfork, and he has the scars on his in-game model. I believe they're both killed. Yeah. Anyway, and so is Regis, which we're gonna get into about that.
So like they got like a bad NASCAR game, or like what are?
Yeah, it's like we're gonna race Riot if Dale my car wins or loses.
Yeah.
Do you think? Because you like flip a car for hockey. If you riot after NASCAR, do you like break into a sporting goods store and light it on fire?
Yeah. You like flip some hockey sticks.
They flip over a Zamboni and light it on fire.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the Jeff something is like a famous NASCAR guy. I'm not from Florida, so I don't know. Thank you.
Jeff Gordon, there's Dale Earnhardt, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. And both him and his son like hit like the tops of the sport, which
Who's
is crazy.
Lady?
Danica Patrick.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. I know her of GoDaddy.com commercials fame.
Oh yeah, that's what she's known for.
I don't like or follow NASCAR, but there could be a really cool lore episode on NASCAR because there's so many like rivalries and stuff, and like people doing things in races to like sabotage the other person. They're like, well, I'm not gonna win, so I'm gonna fucking crash you. And there's like really good arcs and stories in the NASCAR universe. Although
that one guy like from last year or 2 years ago who just like decided to not turn and just go so fast and let like the wall turn him to win the race. It's insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know for a fact cool stories.
Because I have all three of the official NASCAR Transformers. And when I was posting them on Instagram, I know for a fact that friends of the show and longtime patrons, Bison and Fitty, fucking love NASCAR. Because both of them were just like, yo, is that a real NASCAR Transformer? I'm like, yeah, it's officially a licensed like Impala Transformer with the NASCAR logos on it. They're like, oh, that's fucking awesome. So that might actually be a good episode. Planting those seeds out there.
Totally.
Sure, yeah.
And there's
listeners.
great personalities. Yeah, there's like the good dudes who are trying to stop diarrhea. There's like the bad dudes who'll just take everyone out and drink your blood.
Can you imagine being a NASCAR heel? Like, is there like a NASCAR Undertaker?
No, there absolutely is, where they just like they drive rough and they're like, if I'm not gonna win, I'm gonna take other people out with me. And
well, because you play on teams too, right? So it's like you want your guy to win. There's usually teams of 3, I think.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get back to vampires, but now I'm into NASCAR. That sounds pretty good.
Actually, NASCAR episode. Let's pull up NASCAR here.
Actually, let's just make a quick change here. So like I mentioned before, it's funny, we are going to talk a bit about drunk driving, so that's actually not the least relevant tangent we've ever got on. Blood affects vampires like drugs and alcohol, meaning if you're a young vampire and you don't like to partake, you're a fucking loser. Regis was a fucking loser, and thankfully 1,000-year-old teenagers from another dimension are still susceptible to peer pressure.
Good. Good.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad they bullied him. Mm-hmm. So basically, he didn't like the way he felt. Sometimes he would get too drunk. Regis notoriously would get too rowdy when he was literally blood drunk. But it did make him less nervous, so he could finally start talking to vampire girls when he was drunk. Like, it removed his inhibitions. Mm-hmm. At like whatever the vampire tailgates and shit they were going to in the parking lot outside of the NASCAR stadium or whatever track,
of course.
Right? So one night, after getting a little bit twisted, he and the vampire boys, and this isn't like talking about cracking cold ones with the boys. This is straight up like fucking book canon. Drunk young Regis and his vampire boys had to like go out and like they ran out of blood. So it's like, don't worry, we can fly. Okay, I've only had a couple of orphans. I'm good to fly.
I'm good to fly. Are you sure? Give me your wings, bro. Give me your wings. You can't fly, bro. Give me your wings. Put your wings in the fishbowl.
Fuck off, dude. Put your wings in the fishbowl. They're like a swinger tailgate.
And all of them just have like a turtle shell on their back covering their wings of just different fish bowls.
Yeah.
Because you can't take your wings off. Yeah.
Can you imagine like the preppy nerd vampire that's like the DD for the night? Or I guess the DF, designated flyer, with like this, it's like the prep kid with just like the very like well groomed with like bat wings on his back, just like, you guys can't be doing this. And like, fuck you, nerd, like whatever. So yeah,
hold him down, pour blood in his mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Designated demon? Are vampires demons? No.
We established they're their own race of horrible blood drinking monsters from another dimension.
They're goth. They're trying to get back home to their goth girlfriend.
Yeah.
Nothing like demons. No commonalities. No.
So Regis and the boys need to do a quick blood run. They're out of blood, and they're like, don't worry, we're going to be fine. And it was actually described as while flying under the influence, Regis bailed on his landing and just crash landed into the well of a small village. And then, obviously, rather than ask for his information, the dirt farming peasants beat him with sticks, staked him through the heart, cut off his head, and then soaked everything in holy water before burying the remains. Now, as we had mentioned, none of this really works on Witcher vampires. They don't function that way. None of this could actually kill a vampire, so Regis used the 50 years he was buried and regenerating his body to just get and stay clean. Like, nothing gets you back on the wagon like being buried alive, dude.
Yeah.
It's so
alive with your head cut off.
Yeah, exactly. You've been to rehab where we take care of you. We go over like exercises to make your brain stronger, know that you're an addict. But if you've ever been to Regis Hab, now that's where you just get buried 50 foot in the ground. You know?
I was wondering, because you've been decapitated and regenerating, if you were going with rehead instead.
Okay,
yeah, there we go.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, you've been rehabbed. Have you been deheaded?
Yeah. Right? We've got a very good writer's room going on today.
Yeah,
this is the benefit of writing doing this in the afternoon.
That's right.
Also, like, I don't know how AA works, but I know you get your coin or your chip or something. And I don't know if that's a year or a month thing, but I'd like to imagine
they have different ones. They have different ones for different.
It goes days, then months and years, I think. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to imagine one of the peasants who was also an alcoholic, but his own like booze alcoholic sort of guy in town was like dropping off chips at at the ditch they had buried him in like every month.
Just like a blood addict. But just like he's addicted to drinking orphan blood, but he's just like a human.
Yeah, he's a sicko. He doesn't need to live. Unlike Bill Gates or Oriana, this guy is ill. So he recovers, he regenerates, digs himself out of his grave.
Stop orphans in Africa from pooping. Come on, he's a good guy.
Yeah, dude.
Well, pooping.
The vampires landed in all their damn wells, so now they got diarrhea.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Yeah, he had to drink out of the river. Yeah, the river of blood that he turned into.
Yeah. So he dug himself out, decided to stay clean, and during the Second Northern War, I don't think we've talked about the wars in the Witcher universe at all, but the Second Northern War in 1267, Regis and Geralt would finally cross paths. Excuse me. Geralt and the dwarf Zoltan, who we do meet in all three games. He's one of the best characters, in my opinion. They met him in the woods while looking for ghouls. Because
Charlie Kelly activities.
Yeah. Geralt and the Dayman were out in the forest
looking for ghouls.
Looking for ghouls. And then anyway, they crossed paths with Regis, and he invited them in for some glue and cat food.
Nice.
In reality, when they bumped into him, Geralt, using his enhanced senses, had followed like this scent on the wind of herbs and spices and whatnot. And it turns out that Regis, while he was a recovered addict at this point, just kind of got into making mandrake and spice moonshine out in the woods.
Okay.
So he's just like, I just like to be around it. Like I can't do it anymore. But it's funny. It's funny. Like not haha. I know one guy who is a recovered alcoholic, and he did come with us to a bar once. Like one of the times we hung out, and he was like, "Oh, I can't drink it anymore, but I'd like to. Can I smell your beer?" I was like, "Sure, dude, whatever." And he just grabbed it, smelled it. He's like, "Yeah, thanks." And just I can't drink it anymore, but he just needs the
wild.
So what, is Regis sniffing orphans or what?
Yeah. He's cutting them open and then just smelling all the blood.
Can I smell your orphan? I can't drink it anymore.
It cracks a tab on its neck and just pours it out into a cup, smells the cup. Very nice.
Just jumps it in the sink.
Yeah, shriveled orphan below. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So he remained sober throughout the evening there, but did give Geralt and Zoltan some of the moonshine he had been making. Regis and Geralt stayed friends and worked together on many things, which I am going to skip over here. Again, just read the book. But in 1268, during the war when Geralt attacked the Stiga castle to rescue Ciri and Yennefer from the Mage of Vilgefortz. Regis would help him with this. Vilgefortz had been capturing and experimenting on girls, much like how the Witcher schools would take and experiment on boys. So he was trying to do something with it. Again, I didn't get super deep into this. Vilgefortz is a really important character who would probably just require an entire episode to himself. Mm-hmm. So this is really just kind of going over this. So Regis, using his vampire powers, managed to sneak into the castle and have the gates lowered. He would turn into his flight form, he would turn into his mist form, whatever he would need to do, and also killed a couple of the guards to assist Geralt with going in to rescue Yennefer, who was
but didn't drink the blood. Didn't drink the blood of those guards.
Hey,
I turned into
I may be a murderer, but I'm sober. Okay,
just like Geralt, like catching up with him, like in the castle, and he's just like staying there, like dead guards everywhere. He's like covered in blood, and he's just shaking, like. I need a shower, Geralt.
I forgot he could turn into mist. It's like, hey, orphans, could you breathe me a couple times? I just want to pass.
Like it gets recirculated through.
Yeah, I just want to be close to the blood. You know? Yeah.
The capillaries.
Mm-hmm.
So and eventually when they confronted Vilgefortz, Regis and Geralt both had to fight him. Now Vilgefortz is a immensely powerful fire mage and magic user overall. I don't know if he qualifies as like a main villain, but he's definitely a big villain in the manga adaptations of the Witcher books, right?
Right.
In the fight with Vilgefortz, before they can take him down, Regis is, in quotes, killed. Using fire magic, Vilgefortz burns away most of Regis's body, and the heat was so intense that like the remains of whatever there was of Regis actually like melted into and fused with like the stone of the walls in the room they were fighting.
Wow.
Basically. Yeah. Geralt eventually used a magical amulet of illusion to kind of like get the best of Vilgefortz briefly and finally decapitate him. And then, you know, taking Yennefer and rescuing everybody following that, and Yennefer and Ciri. But since only vampires can kill vampires, Regis wasn't exactly dead, but after being fused with the pillars in a castle, would have taken like too much time for something that can't die to regenerate, right? Like just like vastly too long. So since the game's canon takes place after, and they just undo the deaths of characters like fucking Geralt, right? This is where the game original character and villain of Blood and Wine, Detlef, comes in. At some point, he managed to find and recognize the vampiric remains of Regis that had been fused into the castle.
Hey, that stone looks like a guy I used to know.
just a twisted face. Yeah, exactly. Jamie did a very good Han Solo frozen in that slab pose there for the listeners at home. So Detlef would I guess chisel out his remains and like, it's like, oh yeah, I know where to. He's like working in the construction site, right? He's like, I gotta take one of these bricks home with me. This one specifically, right? It's got like teeth in it. He's like, oh yeah, whatever, man. We're just scrapping everything. It's just gonna be recycled. So he spent decades at this point, basically helping revive and reconstruct and regenerate Regis using vampiric magic and also his own blood. This made them blood brothers, meaning Regis is now indebted to Detlef. And that's why Regis in Blood and Wine is like, we can't fucking kill him, okay? He's not allowed to kill him, because not only is that shunned, it would shun him from vampire society, it's also, like, they are blood brothers. Like, I was melted into a rock. This guy saved me. We can't kill him. He, of course, does, right? Like, the game does have to end. And sadly, there is no redeem Detlef after all the murders ending. Fair enough, I guess, right? In some capacity.
It's I think like from a pure gameplay point of view, it's like it's more like you were talking about Lies of P, I think on the bonus, like you know, having that good boss fight that you skip. Like if the final boss fight, it's like there was a way to just say like, oh no, we can just be friends now, and there's no boss fight, you would probably feel like a little cheated in the game, right?
Which I did in, of course, like on the bonus, I did feel that in Lies of P. Like, okay, so the best fight in the game, you can just miss it by making one wrong choice, right? Yeah. So like I definitely understand why, but also Detlef does fucking murder a ton of people.
Maybe there's a way to do it. Maybe like making him into a pillar, like full circle. Now the pillar's on the other foot. Or
so you're saying you're saying the guy who was rescued from that fate should treat him with a fate worse than death in return.
Yes.
Be like, hey, you saved me from this. would be symmetrical.
We can't kill him, but hear me out. We could melt him into a pillar, and then I don't get kicked out of Vampire Society.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the retcon they use. Is Detlef rescues Regis from being fused into the pillar, and then that kicks off that's the pretense for their relationship in Blood and Wine, and that is the end of our Witcher Vampire episode, which was an absolute joy to research and write. I am playing Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, but the whole time I was writing this, I was just like, because you can start a new game in medias res, like in the DLCs in The Witcher 3. I was like, I could just run through these DLCs, 20, 25 hours after I'm done Phantom Liberty. Like, it's so fucking cool, and those games are so good.
Yeah, Witcher 3, I mean, we've talked about it a lot over the history of the show, but I think we're all very big fans of, for sure.
Yeah, top tier. But yeah, I've been your host, melted into your wall, Peter O'Donoghue. You can find me at Loreboys Podcast on Instagram. Come say hi, like our photos. Thanks for the follows. And yeah, fellas, what's
I'm Ethan Palmer. I've never been melted, but I am rock hard.
Yeah, I remember I had an ex-girlfriend buy me The Witcher 3, and it was like it was Christmas break, and I just sat down, and she's like, you know what, you can play Witcher 3 all day, and I'm gonna cook. And I'm like, what? Oh, awesome.
Hell yeah.
So I sit down in my big...
Don't hell yeah too quick. I know this story.
I sit down in my big chair that Ice is in there. I got my TV right in front of me. I start playing, and I don't even get to the Griffin yet, and she is so angry at me for not paying attention to her. She's like, I'm cooking and all you're doing is playing the games. I'm like, we talked about this. This is exactly what I thought we were going to do today.
Yeah, she's so pretty manipulative, turns out.
I got my copy of The Witcher 3 from an ex-girlfriend as well. But because most of my relationships have ended due to unforeseen tragedies, most of them are still my friends. So she ended up with 2 copies because she got a free copy with her graphics card, which didn't work. And then she's like, they sent me 2 codes as a sorry. You love this game. Do you want it? I was like, fuck yeah, I do. Of course. Thank you, Sarah, if you're listening.
I don't know how, but we got it for like $15 physical copy on sale, like in 2016, 17. I guess it was 2 years old at that point. So yeah. But very good. Buy it, play it. Still good. It goes on sale.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you like the show and want to talk with people with similar interests, we do have a link to the Discord in the description for this episode, or you can go to discord.gg/loreboys.
Yes, he did it.
I nailed it.
I think that's the first time you nailed it first try.
I know. The Patreon is different, where it's patreon.com/theloreboys if you want to get at our Patreon.
You'll never fucking find us, even if you try.
Exactly. And even if you do, we're not responding on socials. So we're professionals at this. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. If you like the show, the best way to help us out is probably to tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your bats at your house. Stop. If you see a bug, stop. Tell them about the Lore Boys. Bend down. Just tell them about the Lore Boys. Tell them how we're friends of bugs here.
Yeah, and don't tell the Nestle bugs. You can tell a praying mantis or a ladybug. You don't have to.
Hey, if you're walking and you see a bug, don't tell Nestle about them.
No.
Nestle will put a price tag on that bug. Okay, you keep that bug for yourself.
Nestle's got little like gas pumps on all the flowers for the pollen and everything. You gotta pay to get in and out of there. And
stop! You're making Bill Gates too hard. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/theloreboys. Thanks so much to all our patrons, including our new ones, Brandon and Joe. If you want to check it out and consider supporting the show, head on over to patreon.com/theloreboys. Check it out. We have a few different tiers there with a few different things that we like to do as a reward, including bonus content, which is a lot of fun, loser titles, which is a lot of fun, some other silly things in there. So check it out.
It's like how you get an invite to the inner circle of chats too. If we're like, you can ask us questions that we do our best to reply to, and like you get all the pictures that we post and all the extra good stuff. And we try and pay more attention to the people who support us, or I do anyways. I don't, because
I pay attention to the Ask Me Anything chat because it's literally, if you're going to ask me anything, I guess I got to be answering it. So patrons do have that leverage on us, I guess.
They asked us who would be best at games, and I was realizing we really don't compete in games often anymore. I was trying to think.
It's all co-op, but definitely not me because I played so little multiplayer when I was young.
Yeah, like it depends on like what the challenge is. Like Pete would win in any Souls game. If it's like a race through Hollow Knight, obviously I'll win. If I said League of Legends, I think I would smash either of you.
I think I would give you more trouble than you'd expect in League of Legends.
Let's do it. Let's 1v1, dude.
Okay. Let's do it. I'm down.
If you don't trust Patreon, we also, of course, have Lord Boys Prime. You already know we're requesting this week for entry into Lord Boys Prime, which is small intestines. We're looking for the stretchier, the better. Stop selling us your brittle, old, your grandma's small intestine. We don't want it. That shit snaps after 30 feet. Okay, we need to get this bad boy to 2,400.
That thing just cracks open when you're you know how it's all stacked back and forth now. When you try and straighten it out, it's like
we're just taking it out of the package and it's breaking. We don't want your grandma's defective small intestine.
Yeah,
okay?
it's got like that white crease in it, like when you like stress plastic out. You're like, I can't even fold this shit.
Is this your grandma's innards or old licorice?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I think that would constitute a Lore
Boys.
Out.
What a gas.